Yeah, I gotta be honest, Big Tone. I had to fall back from your boy, man, the locker room, man.
Man, I went up tell you, I've been telling you, nigga, you ain't want to listen.
Nah, it's
That
not
boy,
that I didn't.
that boy is a
Yo,
two-way player, bro. He's the
a
only nigga.
two-way player.
He's a two-way player, bro. He's the only nigga that keep LeBron picture up no matter what he
Two-way
talk
player.
about.
Yo, Big Tone, the dude is talking. Like my thing is, anytime you beat him in a debate, he always got a condescending narrative,
Of course.
like, oh, you guys don't know basketball and all of this shit. So I'm like, all right, well, debate me then. He like, oh, nobody debates. We just fans. Our debates don't matter. And I'm like, so why the fuck you got a show called The Smoke Show? Like, it's just too much of moving the goalposts for me. And it's like, I
LeBron
just did
fans.
basketball talk. I ain't talk about none of the extra corny shit he was doing, but just basketball talk. When it came down to basketball content, I was whooping his ass.
Bro.
And he got disrespectful. He got disrespectful to somebody on my panel, so I stopped fuck with him. You know how I know it was bad? He came all the way. He came to my Facebook. Like I never seen nobody go from like
Bro.
sorting somebody out on Facebook from
You heard his
YouTube.
video. You heard his
Like,
video.
bruh, I went
That's
to his
crazy.
page. He kept calling. He kept putting my picture. I said, "Yo, you keep putting my picture up."
Like they make my sound like part of the show. I never seen nothing like this where somebody that's a different blogger on a different stream takes your sound bite and DJs your shit. Like he's like a fucking DJ.
I just wanna slide on top of
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, folks, we are back, man. We are back, folks. We gotta keep the conversation rolling, folks. Some interesting developments have hit my desk, folks. So we obviously gotta talk about it. Now, ladies and gentlemen, as you all know, folks, Puka, this dude was supposed to get suspended against Detroit because Puka, ladies and gentlemen, he received his 16th technical foul on the season versus the Orlando Magic, okay? Now, Puka, after the game, got up on the post-game press conference, folks, and he flat out lied to the media, to the fans, and to the NBA, folks, okay? And he pretty much tried to play the victim, which is what these people do, all right? He tried to play the victim because, you know, apparently the other guy on the Orlando Magic, folks, according to Puka, said that he would fuck his family. So Puka got up on the post-game presser. He lied. He made himself, you know, the victim. And, you know, the Lakers, they appealed the technical foul. And the NBA, Adam Silver, whoever, folks, they rescinded Luka's tech. And Luka was able to play in last night's game versus the Detroit Pistons. Now, the way he played yesterday, folks, he would have been better off serving the suspension because yesterday, folks, he played like absolute dog shit. He got cooked by Dennis Jenkins, folks. Dennis Jenkins. Yeah. Dennis Jenkins cooked him and Aston yesterday. 30 points for Dennis Jenkins, a career high. All right. Now, I don't know if Puka, folks, thought this went all the way through because Puka might not be aware that they have lip readers, ladies and gentlemen, that work for the NBA, all right, that have YouTube channels, folks. So it looks as if, folks, they did a little bit of lip reading and they were able to determine what was said in the exchange that Luka had with the Orlando Magic player, Goga. Okay? So, ladies and gentlemen, let me show you this clip that came across my desk, folks. It's about a 2-minute clip, all right? We're going to go through this clip real quick, folks. Shout out to everybody that's tuned in. Shout out to Nino, Mike298. What's going on, man? We got the big dog. We got a couple clowns in here. What's going on, pussy? Shout out to CPA Joe, Skino, Steph Curry, PJ's Big Dog, Daniel Berry. What up, man? Ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and get into this nonsense, folks. Here we go.
During a free throw, Luka Doncic got into a heated argument with Goga Bitadze. Not too many people know the actual context, so let's break it down. With a minute left in the third, Goga picked up a foul on this play. He thought it was a clean strip, but Luka went to the line for two. Mind you, Goga had already taunted Luka earlier in the game and even gave him this hard foul. The tension didn't just come out of nowhere, but here's when things escalated. After Luka missed the first free throw, Goga started saying all kinds of things, trying to get in Luka's head, which is when he responded in Serbian. This translates to "I f your mom," and it's a pretty common insult used in trash talk. However, Goga didn't take it lightly. Now, this actually translates to "I f your whole family." At this point, Luka thought he went too far and immediately let the refs know. The crazy thing is that Goga kept insulting Luka while the Magic bench begged for a delay of game. Luka chirped right back and said, "He can't talk about my family." He ended up making the second free throw and had more words for Goga. He said, "I'll f you up, mother f. Don't mention my family again." The refs didn't know what was going on, so they handed out double techs. Both were just as surprised, but Luka kept explaining himself, letting everyone know that he had a right to defend himself, but the refs didn't want to hear it. This was also Luka's 16th technical foul, which equaled a 1-game suspension. Many people wanted more context on the situation, so Luka said this after the game.
He said it free throw, he will fuck my whole family, and at some point, it's his basketball player, so I stand up for myself. But I know I gotta do better. My teammates, I know they have my back, so I let them down today. But I hopefully get resent.
Well, the rest in here, what language did you say?
It was in Serbian.
It's actually crazy that Goga really said that, but he thought Luka had it coming. He told ESPN, quote, "Well, he said something about my mother, which it's really inappropriate. We don't say that stuff during the game, so I don't know if he knew that I understood his language or not, so I just said whatever he told me or about my mother and said it back. That was pretty much it." However, Goga actually has a history of going at people's families. About a year ago, he got into it with Pascal Siakam, and this happened. Definitely not a good look for Goga, since he literally mentioned that family is sacred. The league ended up rescinding Luka's 16th technical foul, while Goga has received heavy criticism by the fans. During a
Please don't tell me that was you saying the 96 Sonics. This is what you got to realize, Judah. It's very easy to out-debate locker room. It's not very challenging whatsoever. The fact that you let locker room outwit you and out-debate you, it says a lot. We're not talking about a very high-level basketball mind, and you got outwitted by the locker room.
Ladies and gentlemen, you guys just heard the video, okay? You guys just heard the video. Luka starts the trash talk, folks. The other guy finishes it. Luka gets a technical foul. They both get a double tech. Okay? Now, obviously, we knew that Luka was going to get some help from the referees. Why, folks? Because he's been getting help from the referees this entire season. So the NBA folks, they stepped in and they rescinded Luka's technical foul so that Luka could play against the Detroit Pistons. Folks, this is insane. And I actually saw somebody on Twitter said that they need to go ahead and reinstate the technical foul. And I agree with that. Because the way Luka framed it was like he was some angel and he was just minding his business and he wasn't talking shit. Folks, he started it. He's the one that said, I'll fuck your mom first. That's what he told to Goga. So he started the trash talk. Goga then responds and says, I'll fuck your family. And then that's when you see Luka on the screen right now complaining to the referees. And then shortly after, that's when Luka and Goga both get hit with the double technical. Folks, this is pathetic on every level. The NBA, Adam Silver, you should be ashamed of yourself for rescinding this technical foul. That is the rule. When you get 16 technical fouls, you serve a mandatory 1-game suspension. But now for Luka, we're going to start rescinding technical fouls, folks, so that Luka can play. Folks, at the end of the day, and 444, he's alluded to this when he calls into the show. Folks, it's very obvious, folks. They are trying to push Puka and hype up Puka as essentially the Caitlin Clark of the NBA. He said Puka hit the stream. He said Puka hit the stream. I'm like, yo, can y'all hear me? Put a 1 in the chat if y'all can hear me. Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me, folks. I didn't know what the hell happened. I'm in the middle of my rant on Puka, folks. And yeah, the Wi-Fi just completely went out. I don't know what happened. I have no idea what happened. But I'm actually glad it happened, folks. You want to know why? Because it allowed me to further collect my thoughts, folks. We're approaching the stretch of the year where Puka chokes. Okay? This is the stretch, this is the time of the year where Puka kind of starts to implode. All right? Now, we've seen this for, 2-3 years in a row now. All right? This is the time of year where Puka implodes, folks. Where's my Austin Reeves graphic? Oh, yeah, here we go. We're going to have to create the Puka cycle. The Puka Dookie cycle. We already have the Austin Reeves cycle. But at some point, we're going to have to create the Puka cycle. Okay? Because Austin, he does the same shit every year. And, now that I've been watching Puka for the last 2 seasons, folks, he does the same shit too. When we get to March, April, when we get to the end of the season, going into the playoffs, folks, this is when Puka starts to implode. I think Puka's starting to implode a little bit, folks. Are we witnessing the implosion of Puka? 2 games ago versus Orlando, 12 for 30. Last night, 11 for 29. Lakers get clapped by the G League Pistons without Cade Cunningham. Lakers get clapped up. Did you guys see what Chris Broussard had to say about Puka? This clown Nick Wright, he's got Puka at the top of his ladder for MVP. Did you guys hear what Chris Broussard had to say though? Let's listen to Chris Broussard, chat. Ladies and gentlemen, you guys just heard the conversation that they were having on First Things First. Okay? We did a show earlier because, you know, Trevor Lane and the Mayonnaise media, they ran a play after yesterday's loss. Okay? What was that play? That play, folks, is called blaming blacks. Okay? Now, during the Lakers' 9-game win streak, the Mayonnaise media was giving Puka all of the credit. Okay? Why are they doing this, folks? Well, like I told you guys, they want to promote Puka as essentially the Caitlin Clark of the NBA. That's what they want Puka to be. They saw how much money Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese brought to the WNBA, folks. Caitlin Clark in particular. She brought a brand new set of eyes to the WNBA. They want Caitlin Clark. They want Puka. Okay? They want these two individuals. Cooper Flag, you can throw him in there as well. Folks, this is what they want moving forward. They want the whites being the best players. But folks, unfortunately for the whites, they can't seem to win. And when they don't win, the Mayonnaise media, they run their favorite play. That play is called blaming blacks. They couldn't take it. What happened last night, folks? Trevor Lane couldn't take it. He couldn't take the fact that Luka fumbled the game. So what did he do, chat? He blamed the blacks. He blamed DeAndre Ayton, put his face in the thumbnail. He blamed LeBron James, put his face in the thumbnail. Folks, we're at the end of March, okay? You guys got to start paying attention. We're at the end of March, folks. We're approaching the end of the season. This is around the time, folks, that Puka starts to implode. Okay? Puka is about to implode. Puka fanboys are about to implode. Folks, you guys been listening to the last few shows that we've been doing with Don C? Have you guys been listening, chat? I told you guys, they're about to crash out. Don C called in last night. He's threatening to whoop people's asses that listen to the show. Let me play you guys the audio. Hold on. Let me play you guys the audio from last night. You guys think this is a game? Let me show you guys. They're crashing out, chat. Luka's fake MVP campaign is over. And now they're crashing out. They're gonna come up with all sorts of excuses. Hold on, let's listen to Don C last night. So he's created. Don C, do you think these last two games $5 super chat? You know, I told you last summer, Luka's not winning the MVP. It's not going to happen. He's not an MVP caliber player. It just is what it is.
Hey Reggie, what was the last guy's name? What was the last guy's name that just mention me again? What was his name?
His name's Camry.
Camry. The C stands for cot. You can suck mine, Camry.
Okay. So now you're gonna crash out on my chat, Don C? Really?
No.
Now you're gonna crash out on my chat.
I'm not.
Now you're gonna crash out on my chat. I
Listen,
told y'all, chat. We
Reggie,
have to let him.
see
Matter of
Prince
fact,
stand for
Camry,
class,
don't
'cause
even.
I've been classy with these niggas.
Camry, don't even respond. I told y'all, just let him crash out. He's crashing out right now. Go ahead, Don
No,
C.
I'm not crashing out.
Continue
I'm
to
not gonna
crash out. Go
I'll,
ahead, dude.
I'll never do that. I'll never do that.
No, go ahead and crash out,
But
dude.
no, we'll never do that.
Ladies and gentlemen, these are about to be the next. These next few weeks, folks, are going to be the best weeks of the season for me personally, right? Because I've had to sit this entire season and listen to these faker fuckers run with their bullshit narratives about Aston Reeves and about Puka. I've even had to endure these Puka fanboys, folks. All year they've been talking about how good Puka is, how good Aston is, right? How LeBron needs to retire and hang it up. LeBron's getting carried by Puka and Aston. He's their third option, right? Well, now guess what, folks? My favorite portion of the season is coming, folks. That's when the playoffs start. That's when the playoffs start, folks. And for the last 3 years that Austin Reeves has been on this team, all we've done with Aston is get our asses whooped. Luka, this will be his second year. And all we've done with Luka up until this point is get our asses beat. But let you guys tell it. Let Faker Nation tell it. Let Jovan Booty tell it. Let Trevor Lame tell it, right? Let Nick Wrong tell it. Luka's at the top of the MVP list. Okay, well, if Luka is so good, ladies and gentlemen, like I've been telling you guys for the last 2 weeks, get this team to the NBA Finals. I don't want to hear any excuses. You got Don C calling in. Oh, this team wasn't built around Luka. Are you serious? This was the same Luka that was recruiting Marcus Smart. So how was the team not built around him? You people will make up any excuse when Luka gets his ass beat. We already know what excuses you're going to run with this year when Luka gets his ass beat. We already know who you're going to blame. We already know what play you're going to run. Blaming blacks is the name of the play. If the Lakers win a game in the playoffs, it's going to be because Luka's the GOAT. And then when they get their asses beat, it'll be Bronny's fault. I heard I saw somebody in one of the comment sections on one of these clowns videos the other day. They're like, yeah, LeBron and Bronny are taking up roster spots. I'm like, dude, Bronny? We haven't mentioned Bronny in 5 months. They talking about Bronny again, chat. You guys are going to see in about another month. Wait till the playoffs start, chat. And Luka starts to implode. It'll be everybody else's fault but his. Shout out to St. Matthew with the $10 super chat. Appreciate you.
LeBron fan. Go have me on a late night mission, pulling up.
You said Reeves was on Mind the Game. The most boring interview I've ever listened to. The Lakers' playoff hopes is on the second option. Reeves averaging over 23 points per game. Potentially $200 million is on the line. Yeah, I saw the clip or whatever. I wasn't interested in it. I'm just not interested in anything that has to do with Austin Reeves. So LeBron, listen. LeBron's got to, pander to Reeves. Obviously, he's on the same team with him. But me personally, I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it at all, folks. In my opinion, I think, Austin Reeves has had a bigger a more negative impact, I'll say, than Russell Westbrook, in my opinion. You know, we only had to deal with Russ for a year and a half. We've had to deal with Austin Reeves twice as long as we had to deal with Russ. So to me, ladies and gentlemen, the fact that, you know, Laker Nation is talking about, you know, paying this dude $200 million this summer. I mean, I don't know any other way to explain it to you guys. This organization is about as racist as they possibly come. Just is what it is.
Please don't tell me that was you saying the 96 Sonics. This is what you got to realize, Judah. It's very easy to out-debate locker room. It's not very challenging whatsoever. The fact that you let locker room outwit you and out-debate you, it says a lot. We're not talking about a very high-level basketball mind, and you got outwitted by the locker room.
Folks, we got Top Fly High in the chat. You said, "What's up, my brother? Wild take." Don C saying he was a Luka fanboy. If we lose, Puka's gonna get the blame. Simple as that. I don't want to hear the fuck shit. All right, Don C. Let me guess. You're not in the ocean.
I mean, Reggie, we talked last week. I told you I'll leave until March 30th. I mean, we talked last week.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I don't know why. I mean, I already told you that. I said I'm leaving on March 30th.
Okay.
But anyway, so before I get to the basketball game, because I hate that I got to keep doing this. For all you goofy ass niggas in the chat, right? Some of you niggas is weird. Y'all be name calling me, right? Just keep that same energy if you ever see me. That's all I'm gonna say. Because some of y'all gonna slap the fuck out of you. That's word to my mother.
Top Fly High. the Luka fans, bro, they're crashing out, dude. You know, Don C's a respectable dude, man. You know, he's married with a family. You know, he claims he's married to a black queen. He's always called in and been pretty respectful. You know, and then obviously you guys just heard the audio from last night's show. He called in and he said he was gonna slap the fuck out of people that are in the chat if he ever saw them in person. So like I told you guys, you know, you guys are gonna see within the next 30 days or so, folks, the Luka fans are going to implode. They are going to crash out. And us as LeBron fans, ladies and gentlemen, we have to brace ourselves, okay? We must be ready. Because you can guarantee, folks, they are going to come for us. They are. They're not hiding it, chat. They're not. They're already letting it be known that they are going to come for us once the Lakers get clapped in the playoffs. All right, we got T-shirt Kings. Do you have any thoughts on this audio by Luka?
Bro, absolutely. Well, about the audio for Luka, yeah, about him saying that the guy said that he would fuck his whole family. Man, you never know, man. People gonna try to say anything they can in order to avoid suspension, avoid giving up that money.
Yeah, I mean, we saw the audio.
My bad, bro. Hold on. I had you playing in the background. That's my bad. Can you still hear me? Okay. All right. Yeah, so with that, yeah, I mean, you never know. You never know, but I haven't never heard no player come out and say you know, like the actual beef that was happening in the game in order to explain why they got a tech and why they said what they said. But bro, I wanted to ask you something though. So this narrative, I see a new narrative that is all a part of this one humiliation ritual. That's the whole thing. It's to
Give me
humiliate
1 second.
black people as much.
Give me 1 second,
Okay.
T-shirt Kings. We got Legends Productions in the chat. He's the one that makes these videos. Shout out to you, man. You said, yo, appreciate the love on the Luka video. I'm getting so much hate on Twitter right now. It's crazy. LOL. Yeah, bro. To me, I appreciate you for the video, because I personally didn't believe Luka when he initially got up on the post-game press conference and basically tried to, play a victim role as if the guy said he would fuck his family unprovoked, right? If the dude said he was going to fuck your family, I'm pretty sure you said something to, incite that, or, to get under his skin. So to me, I think the NBA, after you posted this video, I think the NBA needs to rescind the or unrescind the tech. They need to give him his tech back, and he needs to serve his 1-game suspension. And that's where I'm at with it. T-shirt Kings, what were you saying?
I said, yeah, they got to rescind the rescension.
Exactly.
But no, what I was thinking was, bro, they got this humiliation ritual that they want to perform on the black athlete, right? And so now, just to, like, we all know 2 weeks ago, they were saying that the Lakers were better without LeBron. They can't wait until LeBron gets up out of LA, and so on and so forth. Another member of the Mayonnaise media is Alan Slewa. I don't know if you hip to him or not, but he's always beating the war drum of get LeBron out of here. Like, they're ready to turn the page. So this can be Luka's thing, and this is Luka's thing. But now, do you know what's going on? Bro, they are finding so much joy in the suppression of LeBron, and LeBron only taking 10 shots, LeBron only hitting, 20 points or 15 points. They love that so much that they want LeBron to stick around another year and play this role, so they can continue to just bask in this glory of LeBron taking a back seat to Luka Doncic. I mean, this is picture perfect, because they've been thinking of all the ways that they can kill the king all of these years. And so now they said, oh shit, not only are we going to write LeBron off, it's going to be like at the hands of the next white superstar who is even better than LeBron. And, so this is their whole play. So watch the narrative come out now that LeBron should stick around another year and play this role, because that's what they enjoy seeing LeBron diminished in any way. And they put the magnifying glass on it so much. It's anytime LeBron would lose, the story would always be about LeBron losing. But now they've diminished his role. It should be more about Luka losing, Austin losing. But no, it's not that. Somehow, some way, when the loss happens, I've heard Luka was injured. I've heard that they were tired. It's about time for them to take a loss. No mention of how they lost, with the forcing of a bad shot. No mention of not giving the ball right there to Austin Reeves. I mean, shit, if Austin Reeves don't do nothing else, he performs well in clutch situations and hits game winners. Why wouldn't Luka just give him the ball? You getting locked up, it's obvious. But I don't know, man. Like, that was just something that I had peeped earlier, that, okay, so now they about to come with this new narrative of let's watch LeBron in a diminished role for another year.
Well,
and because everybody's eating off LeBron.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I think the whole situation it's a little bit bizarre and pathetic, because obviously, right, it's very obvious to me the Lakers in particular are trying to gentrify the team, right? So,
Yeah.
okay, cool. They've signed 8, I think, maybe white players within the last 2 or 3 years, right? From Luke Kennard to Jake LaRavia, Luka, Austin, Dalton, Maxi Kleber, Drew Timmy.
Timmy. Yeah.
Yeah, so on and so forth. I think it's about 7 or 8 of these dudes now. So, okay, cool.
But you know what makes me so mad, bro? They never put them all in at the same time, bro. I've been waiting for. They did it for like damn near one play, but it was like a turnover immediately, and then they took them out. Like they want to do it so bad, but they just won't do it. I want to see him play the whole white lineup at once. Have you seen it yet?
Yeah, my thing is they're trying to gentrify the team. You know, they don't want LeBron to be, you know, the focal point anymore. Okay, cool. So if that's the case, then I don't want to hear after last night's loss when Luka chokes away the game winner, gets clamped up by Jalen Duren. I don't want to hear, oh, well, LeBron looks passive aggressive. Is he doing this on purpose? Is he not taking the shots on purpose? You know, I don't want to hear this stuff. Y'all can't have it both ways. That's my only issue with this Lakers situation right now. If we are going to say, hey, LeBron, you are no longer the first or the second option, and we want you to be the third option, then the blame has to go to Luka and to Austin Reeves. It has to. But it seems like to me, they only want to give these dudes credit. They don't want to give them the criticism that comes with being that first and second option. That's where I have a problem. You know, AD got criticized. LeBron got criticized. Even Russ, when Russ came to the team, Russ wasn't the first or the second option. And he still got criticized for his play. So now that Luka's the first option, now y'all don't want to, hold everybody to the same standard. That's why I say, man, these people, they're filthy. They're filthy with their antics, dude. We got this clown Brandon. He says this is such a dumb take. LeBron is washed and Anthony Davis cannot stay healthy. The Lakers traded for a star with Luka. Race has nothing to do with it, you clown. Oh, okay. So he must not have heard the part where I just said the Lakers have signed about 8 white players. I mean, how long you been watching basketball, T-shirt Kings?
Man, since I was 5 years old, bro. 45 years, bro.
So let me ask you a question. Have you ever seen a Lakers roster with this many whites on it?
Never.
Thank you. And all I'm saying is this is not a coincidence. Because the Lakers were the very first team that I started watching when I started watching basketball. I started watching the Shaq and Kobe Lakers. I have never, in the 25 years I've been watching basketball, I've never seen a Lakers roster with 7, 8 white boys on it. This is not a coincidence. They're systematically getting rid of all the blacks in clutch sports. That's what's going on here. So, okay, cool. If that's what you want to do your thing. It's y'all team. Y'all can do what y'all want. But all I'm saying is when we play the games and they're getting their asses beat, we have to hold them accountable in the same way. You know, I mean, that's all I'm saying. But it's like, no, they want to be able to have their cake and eat it too. We want to be able to put out these unathletic, slow, non-defending, can't guard a parked car white boys. But then when they get their asses beat, we're gonna blame the blacks. We're gonna blame the 41-year-old. It's ridiculous. If we're going based off the number, I saw a crazy stat. It said that LeBron and the Joker are the only players in the NBA averaging like 21, 5, and 5. And LeBron's the third option. So we're talking about arguably one of the best third options in the damn sport.
For sure. Well, that was the point that I had heard this guy who was kind of like changing his take on whether it would be better for LeBron to stay or leave the Lakers. Because at first, he was saying, we got to get LeBron out of here, turn the page, so on and so forth. But now, after thinking about LeBron playing this role, he's like the best third option of all time, damn near. And the reason why I'm saying that is because he's so like he knows the game. And it seems like LeBron would be able to kind of like go and play this role. We always thought LeBron would probably go and play maybe in the post more or become more of a distributor or more of like a Jason Kidd when he gets into, like his later career. But I mean, when you think about it, it's like LeBron is a specialist that he could be a hired gun that could go to any team and almost be a specialist to exactly what they need and probably thrive in that position. So the Lakers have a key, a something that any other team doesn't have, but the way that they're just playing like my turn, your turn, my turn, your turn, and it's not going to work. And then, something else that I had thought about like Luka's leadership and the Lakers, the way that they're playing. Like Luka, like LeBron's status in the NBA is so great. Just like for the whole economy of basketball, sports, and so on and so forth, right? Luka, if they're coming in and saying, okay, Luka, now we think that you would be our best option to score on this team, Luka. But LeBron is still the leader of his team because of his experience and so on and so forth, right? And he just the GOAT. When the Lakers are announcing their starters, LeBron should automatically be the last name that's called. And I know that you might be thinking, if you're listening, like that's a petty point, right? That's what difference does that make? That's nothing. To me, it is something because it speaks to how Luka is thinking. Like you're supposed to come in this game with a mature mindset and pay homage to the OG. When it's LeBron, when it's KD, whether it's Steph. Do you think any player could ever go to the Golden State Warriors and get their name called after Steph? Absolutely not. Even if Luka went there, it wouldn't happen. And so that is just it's a look at the disrespect, at the seemingly diminished value. Like, okay, and like the thing is say, oh, LeBron will take a pay cut in order to come and play. Meanwhile, the whole sports economy is getting money off of LeBron. And with all of that ecosystem, all of the things that LeBron is bringing to the table, Luka don't got the wherewithal, like the mindset and the consciousness to say, pay homage to the GOAT. Let him come out. If you got LeBron happy on your team, bro, you got the best thing you could ever have. A motivated LeBron with a nuclear offensive weapon like Luka Doncic. But the mindset ain't right. The approach to the game ain't right. And it's coming. And like Luka might not even notice. This could be the Lakers puppeteering this shit behind the scenes.
That's what
because they shouldn't let it go down.
That's what I think. That's what I think is going on. Is they've put a battery in his back. That's what the fans do. They've put a battery in his back. I've even got up on this show and I'm like, bro, Luka, like he's about to be in year 9 after this year, and he still has way more developing to do in his actual skill set as a player. But if you let the fans tell it, it's like he's like some finished product. Like, bro, he's got so many holes in his game. Just me watching him on a night in, night out basis. Like, it's not even funny. But if you listen to the fans, it's like he's just some finished product that's just like already some all-time legend. It's like, no, bro. He's got a lot of work to do. Listen, right now, Victor Wembanyama, I think is in what, year 2 or 3, right? This is what, his second year, his third year?
Third.
This dude is already in DPO. He's going to win DPOI, and he could very well win the MVP as well. Luka's not even on his level yet. Victor Wembanyama has came in 3 years, and he's already surpassed Luka. So what does that tell you? If you've been in the league 8-9 years, and then another guy comes along in year 3, he's already surpassing you, and people are saying, "Oh, you're the best player. You should be the best player." Bro, you have a lot of work to do on your game. So that's what it is. It's like the fans, you know, the Lakers organization, they've put a battery in his back to where he thinks, you know, he's just the best thing since sliced bread and he can do no wrong, and it's not any further from the truth. I agree with you. He should be. If I was Luka, I would have came to this team and been like a sponge trying to soak up game. What is your what is your eating habits, Brian? Like, I'd be trying to beat LeBron to the gym. I'd like you said, I'd be trying to do whatever I could to make sure LeBron was happy, just out of respect.
And we would be, and honestly, like, bro, we have never had a problem with LeBron playing with other superstars. Bro, we have always loved other superstars to come. When LeBron and D Wade was together, that was crazy. Kyrie, Anthony Davis. Bro, it's never been a time that we haven't been like happy that LeBron had another chance to win a championship, because we want to see him win. But it's I don't know. It's not what you say, is how you say it, and not what you do, but maybe how you do it. And the way that they did this with Luka is the media intentionally pitted LeBron people or LeBron against Luka with as soon as he come in, now this is Luka's team. It was too dismissive, too quick, and just done to rage bait, essentially. And it worked for me because now it's like, now I don't fuck with Luka. But it wasn't, I never felt like no type of way versus Luka before, really. But the way that they it's programming, the way they have done this has made us have to posture to defend LeBron. And it's right for us to do that because shit, we don't want the fuckery. You know?
But I think the thing too is like, even when AD came, and AD, because that year when AD came, his first year, AD led the team in scoring. I think he averaged 26 and LeBron averaged 25. So this notion that LeBron has never taken a back seat to anybody, I mean, it's factually not true. He's taken a back seat to Anthony Davis, and in the first year they won the championship. But the difference, and I've always said this, the difference is AD, number one, is a better basketball player than Luka. He plays ethical basketball. So LeBron, in my opinion, wouldn't have an issue taking a back seat to Anthony Davis. But yeah, if you're telling LeBron that he's got to take a back seat to a guy who is taking 30 shots a game, and on most nights isn't hitting it at an efficient rate, who in their right mind, who you're considered the greatest player ever, who would be happy in that type of situation? Even with Kyrie in Cleveland was an efficient player, so LeBron didn't mind deferring to Kyrie. Kyrie could get buckets on great efficiency. Kyrie's not a high volume, low efficiency kind of a guy like a Luka or a Russell Westbrook, where they need a bunch of shots to, you know, even out the misses, because that's essentially what Luka does. Like, I think in yesterday's game, he was 5 for 15 at halftime. And I said it on the show, I'm like, he's on pace to get 30 shot attempts. So this is what they do. They take so many shots, so by the time the game is over, the efficiency looks better than what it actually was.
Let me ask you this, bro. So with shot attempts, right? If you go up for a shot and you get fouled, does that count as a shot attempt on your stat?
No. If you miss it. If you miss it, it doesn't count.
Not if you miss it. So think about this now, right? Luca will have 29 shot attempts recorded as a stat, but then they'll say, and he shot 16 free throws, right? So he done shot really 38 times because the shots that he's shooting, that he's missing and going to the free throw line, those aren't counted as a shot attempted stat. But he still literally shot the ball. He just got fouled. So think about how many shots that he's getting up a game. It's even more than recorded and reported for real. He's shooting way too much, man.
To me, I think LeBron is just as frustrated playing with Luka as he was with Russ.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's virtually the same experience for LeBron, but I think the only difference is that LeBron knows Luka's white, so he's got to kind of go about it differently. Because I've noticed that with LeBron, like when it comes to black players, LeBron could kind of be himself a little bit more. But when it comes to like white people, I notice he's a little bit more walking on eggshells to say. You know what I'm saying? Like he'll you could clearly tell he's not happy, but it's like he ain't gonna go off on Austin like he would Mario Chalmers or somebody. You know what I mean?
He's protecting himself. He's protecting himself, bro. You know, and he's had to protect himself because that's the real goal, to do anything like the criminal charge or some kind of something major, something spectacle. They want that. They done it to everybody from Bill Cosby to Tiger Woods to Mike Tyson to Michael Jackson. Our biggest, brightest stars always face some type of humiliation one way or another, criminal, personal life, something. But if you a black like megastar like that, that's the prize for the media.
Hey, fuck with your boy. Fuck with your boy.
LeBron fans. Yeah, shout out to Teddy with the $5 super chat. He said Knicks fans are thankful they got Jalen Brunson from the Mavericks in 2022 and not Fat Luka. Top Fly, what's going on, man?
Oh no, I'm just sitting back listening to you guys, just just chop it up. Just thinking about it. The thing that I say, I just remember when MJ, came here to DC, and just how when he was playing with the Wizards, at his age, and you never really heard, all the backlash like you hear like with LeBron. I mean, because when you think about it, you got a 41-year-old man still out there trying to do it. You got two 27-year-old. I guess, they trying to build a team around. And when things go wrong, they blame the old dude. When when like my man said, if LeBron went to any other team at this point, especially if he went to somewhere like just think if he walked on with the Thunder or walked on with San Antonio, where they would be with this knowledge and this gameplay. But it's just sad how they just beat him up like they do. But a lot of times, we do it to ourselves. When y'all was talking about, a lot of times, just like with the race thing, when you bring in a white person to try to, like Lucas actually riding off the back. Not to say that people wouldn't still come to, crypto to see them play. But a lot of the times, I've said that a thousand times when the Lakers are coming out, and most of them people are there to see LeBron. And let's just keep it a
Yes,
buck.
they are. That's
Yeah,
a
and,
fact.
and then you like you said, just out of respect, just like when Vince Carter, out of respect of MJ, he gave him that starting role for the All-Star game that year. And that was just because, it's just out of respect. But it's nowhere in the world
Man,
that they should be announcing Austin Reeves in front of LeBron. They just bringing them. I mean, that's just and it's petty. But at the same time, you're 100% right. Because I've watched it and I've said the same thing. Like, why LeBron? I mean, it's petty, but it's still the respect thing. Because I know how we were
but you know
when I
what?
played. I'm one of the best teams, but like I say, when I got to high school or when I was in college, playing, the seniors came out last, out of respect. I got my chance, the passing of the torch, because the torch hasn't been passed to Luca, if you ask me. Because like I say, the only way that he can define it this year is if he go like Reggie say, if he take this mob and take them to the playoffs. And then, the more I think about, like Reg, what you say about how what he had in Dallas, is the team better here in LA? Hell yeah, the team is better in LA because he got LeBron with him. He got LeBron on the squad now. So if he going, as they say, drag a team to the finals, he need to drag this one. But
Yeah.
I just don't see it in him.
Yeah, I'd like it for LeBron, man. Either way, I guess either way I'd be cool because for some reason, man, I like to see. I don't know, man. They talk so much shit, you almost want to see them lose, man. It's like a odd situation right now, man. You don't really even know how to move. I damn near
Now,
root for him when LeBron
They
the game to see if the plus minus. I want his plus minus to be higher, but that's because we like are championing our cause, bro. Because the hate, the hate and the racism is really that. It's the underlying tone of racism with the critiquing. And when we point it out, you say, "Oh, you reaching, or you this, or you delude." No, no, bro. We peeping this shit.
right,
We peeping this shit, and it's none of this. None of these things are a coincidence. So that's kind of like why we get passionate about the defense, because we ain't really talking about LeBron. We talking about a societal issue that we've been fighting against, but this is just the it's that particular limb of it, or arm of it, so to speak. Like this is just that part of it, but then you got other parts and lanes that we like. Nah, that don't look right, and that's essentially what we saying. Like, man,
right,
this shit don't look right.
Yeah, my
right,
thing is, it's like, if you would have brought on just a different player that I think played ethical basketball,
Yeah,
I don't think you would be seeing some of the complaints from LeBron fans. Because we've been asking for help for years. We've been asking for help, but we didn't ask for Luca.
right.
You know what I'm saying? And I don't think people understand that. Like, I remember when the trade went through. Like, I wasn't ecstatic to play to get him. If it would have been a Kyrie or just somebody different. If you're gonna trade AD, like, okay, go bring me Giannis or something. Go get me the Joker. Go get me somebody that's gonna, like, it's gonna make sense from a basketball perspective. I don't think you get this pushback from LeBron fans, but when you go and get this guy, it's just like, nah, because like I said, I've watched basketball a long time, bro. Luka might, I'm not even hating when I say this. He might be the most overrated player I think I've ever closely observed.
Oh no, he's definitely overrated. But see, that's the thing. See, LeBron has been so great for so long that it's just so when you look around the league, you just don't see it. Someone that's as dedicated as LeBron has been. He's been the ideal ambassador for the league, and he's still performing. And you can say what you want to say, but when you pull up the free agency thing, I mean, he's still number one on the free agency list. How's that possible? But then the Laker fans still they'll talk about him as if he's washed. And it's like, if he's so washed, then why does he still has that? Why is his stock still so high around the league? And that's because the other teams that they see that when you within that circle, and when you within that bubble, and you're not on the outside, see, they know what's going on around the league, and all this other stuff that's going on around. It's just people just speculating, and people that don't know what they're talking, or people that don't know what they're watching. But if you want to tell me, so the thing was is that the Lakers had to do this. That you make this trade 9 times out of 10 or whatever they say, 10 times out of 10. But look at what's happening now with Giannis, with LeBron getting ready to come off the books, and Giannis asking to be traded. So you just never know what's going to happen within the league. It's like you have to make this trade. I just don't see it that you give up your anchor on your defense that still can give you the same amount of points that Luka if when AD is healthy. Although AD was hurt, they still could have went out and got another center. They tried to grab Mark Williams. They could have grabbed Mark Williams to go alongside Anthony Davis, and the Lakers would have been fine. But like I say, when you bring Luca in, you got to change up everything. Now you got to find all these. You still asking for the same players that we've been asking for, even when Anthony Davis. We need wing players. We need. How long have we been saying that? We need a center. How long have we been saying that? You still need the same players that you was asking for when AD was there, and you get you still a third seed. You still I mean we they've kind of moved up a little bit, a couple of games here and there, but it's the we that what is it, that third through like sixth or seventh. It's like the games can kind of go anywhere if you lose a couple of games. So it's not like you
Yeah.
like you really like you
Standings.
really like you really setting the world on fire. Like you OKC, that's what
Right.
that's the part that Don C don't understand, that Shay and them, they like 10 games ahead of everybody else. They already clinched the playoff berth. So it's like you just it's like you don't see, you want to discredit what Shay doing to try to credit not Giannis but Wemby's doing, and you're talking about when has defense ever played a part. So you gonna discredit a man because he active on both sides of the floor just because your superstar is
Oh, LeBron's
Don't
doesn't play
do it.
Millie.
defense. It's just sick.
Right.
I just don't get it. But like I said, I wasn't a big Wemby fan, but like I say, now I'm watching him now. Shoot, man, that boy might be. Hey, Reg, remember we was talking about we had said that it might not be another player to win 6 rings. Man, I don't know, because he, like I say, if they teach him how to play the game
Man.
right, and then hey, say
The
Reggie,
Spurs,
right, hold
the
on, hold on
Spurs,
for let me say this real quick. So Reggie, what you was saying, man, you made me lose my thought. What you was saying about man, you made me lose my thought. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
You was talking about Wemby and the 6 rings.
Yeah, yeah, I lost my thought. I lost my thought.
All right,
Go
give me
ahead.
one
Go ahead.
second. We got Mike 298 with the $5 super chat. Appreciate you, man.
LeBron fans.
Me on a late night mission, pulling up.
He said, I hate watching sometimes with Reggie because we root for them, but they do not root for us. AR was mad and sad when they won certain games. Why?
When he played bad.
Yeah, like I guess,
Yeah, if we win and Austin plays bad, he's always
sad.
he's yeah. He knows when he plays bad. But like I say, you shouldn't feel that way if you because things are going to go that way. But he knows.
Yeah, I think that take that Don C had earlier about Wemby and defense mattering in the MVP conversation, I thought that was probably the most bizarre take I heard today.
Oh, that's what I was going to say. That's what I was going to say. Yeah, when you said that about Wemby being second place and Luca being third place, and then you kind of talked about how this is Wemby's like second or third year in the league, and like Luca's ninth year, and he's already in talks of MVP. But see, that's the thing that I'm trying to get and that's the thing when everybody waves this great thing around with all these players. See, that's what the greats do. See, the greats come in and they dominate right off the break. And Luca was scoring points, but he wasn't in no MVP conversations when he first came in the league. Unless you can tell me that I'm wrong. But Wemby's straight in the league. LeBron straight in the league. Kobe had to build himself in, but they had expectations for Kobe. You understand what I'm saying? Magic and Bird straight in the league. Man, I think Magic won his first title the first year. But they don't look at that stuff. They just want to sweep stuff under the. They just want to sweep that type of stuff, and they don't want to look at the stuff that really matters. But like I said, we need to stop putting this great tag on these players until they accomplish something. How could you even think about talking about Luca without or trying to put Luca above SGA when he done won what he won, the scoring title, MVP, and he won the finals. So it's just like I just don't get. And like I say, the only way that Luca's going to win is if he learns how to facilitate like LeBron does, where he's trusting his players, he's getting them involved, and he's able to spread the ball around, and he's able to dominate the fourth quarter like the greats do from the guard position. And that's just sad. You know what I'm saying? I don't get it. Another one that came straight in, Shaq came straight in and was dominant. Penny Hardaway came straight in and was dominant. You know what I mean? It's just like some of these. I just don't get it with. I just don't get it with Luke. He just don't do it for me.
Yeah, me personally, um, I don't believe he's ever gonna win. I just don't
Right.
see it, So to me, it boils down to how long are the Lakers going to play this game with him? Where I've said it on the show before, if you can't win by year 9, year 10 as the number one option, you're more than likely never going to. I think the one guy, there's been one guy that might have won as a number one option after that, and I think that was Dirk. I think Dirk won his first championship maybe in like year 12 or 13 or something like that. But pretty much everybody else from Jordan, Shaq, LeBron, Magic, Bird, Duncan, Kareem, LeBron, Kobe, whoever, all the other greats, they all won by year 9. Like year
Right.
9 was when even Kevin Durant, he didn't win by year 9, year 10. So what did he do? He went to another team and basically became the second option. Now, obviously, he won the Finals MVP, but that wasn't his team. So my thing
Right.
is with Luka, how have him as the number one option? Because I keep seeing this thing about Giannis, right? And they talking about, oh, the Lakers gonna make this blockbuster trade for Giannis this summer. Let's just say hypothetically you get Giannis. Top of high, let me ask you, whose team is it gonna be?
Yeah, I don't know. They're gonna have to share it. They both of them are too ball dominant. I don't even know how that would work. Because they both. I mean, unless Giannis started to play in the post more, maybe. But that's that. I would have to see that. To answer your question, I'm just not sure. But of course, they're going to try to make it Luka's team. And Giannis already said that he doesn't want to play with a ball dominant guard.
Yeah.
So he already said that. So that I would be surprised if they made that move. Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't. I
So
don't. Yeah,
so
I'd be
so
surprised.
so yeah, to me, I just want to know how much longer are they going to give Luka as the number one? Like, okay, you came here, we put the ball in your hands, we let you take all the shots, we made you the number one option, and now we're waiting, for you to like win. So how long are we going to continue to play this game with him until we finally decide, okay, he's just not that guy? Because I'm of the mindset that once the new ownership group comes in, that clock is gonna speed up. Like if Jeannie and Rob were gonna stay and they were gonna be the ones running the show like they have been, then I think that they would continue to play this game for years on end. But I think now that they've sold the team and you got the new ownership group coming in, I just don't believe they're gonna give him this long runway year in and year out. I just don't believe it. I just don't
Let me
believe it.
ask you. Let me ask you this, Reg. Let me ask you this. Um, we've seen the Lakers play some great basketball at times, and we've seen them play some poor basketball at times. Um, Most of the time when they're playing great basketball is when LeBron James is, you know, um, not say that he got to set the world on fire, but he has a pretty good game. Do you really think that they can win some back? Do you really think that they can win with everything that you've seen from the shooting, from them having DeAndre Ayton and Jackson Hayes, as the bigs, which we didn't have last year? Do you think that they could really win the playoff series?
Yeah, they could win a playoff series, but
Yes.
it's going to come down to Luka. We played the Brian Windhorst clip from the finals 2 years ago when Brian Windhorst went in on Luka, and the graphic showed his box score from that game. I think it was either game 4 or game 5. The dude shot 11 for 27 in that game, right? Just kind of similar to what he shot yesterday versus the Pistons, which was 11 for 29. So the problem with Luka, if he's efficient on that type of volume, he puts you in a position to where you can win. The problem comes when he's not efficient. He can't go 12 for 30 like he did against Orlando, or 11 for 29 like he did against Detroit, and you're going to have a chance to win the game. That's too many shots, So we have a chance to win with Luka, but he's got to be efficient, and we've never seen him do that. Even in the finals, like I said, that game where Brian Windhorst went off on him, he was 11 for 27. You can't when LeBron and Kyrie, when they went on the road in game 5 and they both went for 41, they were efficient. Same thing in that game 7. Like you have to be efficient if you're gonna be, because it's the same thing really with LeBron and Kyrie in Cleveland. They were the main two. That team was top heavy too. They were the main two guys taking the bulk of the shots for that team in that run in the finals. So, but the only difference is the efficiency. You have to be able to make those shots. If he's not making those shots, then you're just not going to win with him.
So let me ask you this: so
he's got to make those shots.
Are we better? Are the Lakers better this year than we were last year? I mean, just overall chemistry, players.
Yeah.
Would you say the team is better this year?
Yeah, I would. I think Marcus Smart.
Yeah.
He makes you better, definitely defensively. You did lose DFS, but
that's like a wash between DFS and Marcus Smart. They about like the same. So it's pretty close. It's pretty close as far as like which team is better. They comparable.
The edge this year though is with DA too.
Right.
DA is a slight upgrade from Jackson.
Yeah, because we got him and Jackson Hayes. So you're right. I mean, DA is at least better than we signed. Remember the white guy that we signed last year at the end of the year?
Alex Lynn,
and he was terrible.
Yeah, Alex Lynn was
man, that was wild.
And then also,
they signed it.
Also, too, the reason why you would have to say we're better this year is because there's got to be a little bit more chemistry because they've played together longer. Last year you just threw it together. This year they've had a training camp, they've had a preseason, and they've had all 82 coming up soon. So yeah, I would say this team is better. It's upgraded.
So
and then Luke Kennard
look,
too.
Bro, there's a world where the Lakers.
Right.
Yes.
No, that's what I was going to say. That's what I was asking too, because I don't really think that teams really want to face the Lakers in the playoffs, because you just don't know what you're going to get out of you just don't know what you're going to get out of LeBron. What I would hate to see, so let's say that LeBron he's going to be dangerous if he's healthy, he's going to be dangerous in the playoffs.
Damn.
I just think that once the playoffs start, and they know who they matched up against. I think things have changed, in the way that Luca plays, because it's just like, if well, let me rephrase that. If Luca want to learn how to win championships, I mean, remember Kobe said that about LeBron, and maybe this is the opportunity for LeBron to kind of guide him through and how to go from game to game and really make Luca understand how every possession really matters, and you just can't be, because
Yeah.
that's my problem with Luca. He just jacks shots up, just like my
Mhm.
man said last night. You got 19 seconds on the shot clock, and he's just jacking shots up. It's just like you can't play like that in the playoffs. So that's my thing is when I'm trying to get Don C to see what I'm saying to you, you need to be preparing yourself and preparing your troops at this point as to, let's get into a mindset. I think what we got like 9 to 10 games left. You need to be in just really working on your chemistry at this point. It ain't about scoring points like Don C thinks. It's like, you just watching the game to see what Luca does on the offensive side of the ball, but you're not watching to see what Luca does on the defensive side of the ball.
Top
But
five.
me
Let me
personally,
listen.
go ahead,
Listen.
Reg.
Listen to this real quick. So, not to cut you off, but in 2016, LeBron James averaged in the finals 30, 11, and 9. He
Damn.
shot 49% from the field and 37% from three on 5 attempts per game from three.
Wow.
So he was basically 50% from the field and about 37% from three. This is Kyrie. Kyrie in 2016, when they won the championship, Kyrie was 27 points per game, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. Kyrie shot 47% from the field and 41% from three. Kyrie shot five threes a
Yeah.
game. Luka
Yes, sir.
in the 2024 finals, he averaged 29 points, 9 rebounds, and 6 assists. From the field, he was 47%, but from the 3-point line, he was 24%.
Wow.
24% on 9 attempts per game. You cannot shoot.
So yeah, you can't do that.
You cannot shoot
You can't do
9
that.
threes a game and you're making them at a 24% clip. You can't do that.
But
So,
that's
yes,
what you'll end up running. That's what you'll end up running into when you're playing on such like a high wire act every night. You can't do that every night consistently because it's too the shots are bad shots, and so the Lakers, like bro just said, the Lakers or Luka needs to peep how LeBron is playing. While like even like now, how LeBron is playing, how he makes sure he gets all of the other players involved. Like Luka definitely needs to put that in his bag, man, in order for the Lakers to be
Right.
able to be the best that they really can. But
You
LeBron
know what, Bert?
playing, I was just gonna say LeBron playing this, like I said, like hired gun role, right? To come in and do something as a specialist is what I was saying. Like with LeBron playing this role right now, he's being able to rest, like you said. He's not like blowing a lot of energy. So come playoff time, you know what I'm saying? We could see a good energized LeBron as like, you know what I'm saying, better in this role where you'll see LeBron getting 25 points a night, 25 points a night, 24 points a night, where
It's gonna be every. It's gonna. It'll be.
Lakers
It'll
have a
be every
chance
other game.
have a chance to
It's
really be good.
right. It'll be every other game in the playoffs. He gonna play hard one game, take one game off, and just let Austin and that's the strategy is there for them to be successful. It's just the point of whether
Yeah.
or not Luca will actually see. That's what I thought. See, this is what burns me up about Luca too. The Lakers could be playing well with him on the bench, and you could sit on it, and we'll be watching the game, and you can just see how the tempo kind of changes when Luka comes back in the game, because it just burns me up that he doesn't come in back into the game, see what's happening, and just fit in with it. He'll just come right back in there with that shot jack and shit, and it just fucks the chemistry all up. I just, like I say, I see potential that the Lakers could be, just looking at the talent and looking what's around the league. The Lakers can beat any of these teams if they just use some strategy as the way that they play. But Luka just being a ball hog is just going to take away from it. He's not a Kobe.
Yeah.
Kobe was more athletic. He could get to the rim. He could do. He wasn't foul beaten like Luka foul baits. You know what I mean? When he's actually, sometimes Luka will come down and he'll be looking. He would rather get fouled
Yeah.
to try to make the
Yes, he
shot
would.
instead
Yes,
of just
sir.
getting the bucket.
Yeah.
It's like, who plays like that?
It's nasty.
And part
we
of
got
his
DC.
production does.
We
Oh,
got
go ahead.
DC Rue.
Sorry about that.
We got DC Rue in the chat. What's going on, man? And then we got this clown. You said y'all goofy ass haters seem to forget that Luka got to the conference finals with Dwight Powell, Reggie Bullock, and Dorian Finney-Smith in the first lineup. Well, that's great, bro. But you don't win
You
a
didn't
trophy
win.
for getting to the conference finals.
Right. And I understand. I think they understand how hard it is to beat a team 4 out of 7. That's hard work, and it takes strategy. It takes adjustments. It comes from it's from the coaching staff on down. You got to be able to make adjustments. Well, that was Darvin Ham's problem. He couldn't make adjustments.
At
And like you
all.
say, right? And it's like if even when they played um Denver in that Western Conference Finals. You just never know how that series would have went if he would have just put Tristan Thompson in there. Not to say that Tristan Thompson would have
Stop
made
Luka.
he would have stopped them, but at least we would have had the opportunity. At least we wouldn't have come away from the series wondering what if.
But
That's the thing.
and then I saw like I said, I was watching the Lonnie Walker game when he came in versus Golden State. That was the year we should have won the championship. Was 2023.
Right.
We beat the defending champions in the second round, which was Golden State. So we beat the defending champs. We should have won the whole thing.
Yeah.
But the problem was the strategy that Darvin used to beat Golden State, which was the small ball lineup, because obviously Golden State plays small. They play Draymond at the 5, and they spread everybody out. So he thought the strategy that worked against them, which is going small, would work against Denver. So we were playing D'Lo, Austin Reeves, and Dennis Schroeder with LeBron and AD. That's not going to work against Denver. But if you remember, when Frank Vogel was the coach, he made those adjustments. So like in the second round in 2020,
with Dwight Howard
when we played Houston, okay, if they got PJ Tucker playing the 5, sure, you can play AD at the 5 and get away with it. AD should dominate that matchup. But if we're playing the Joker in them, AD's going to need some help. So we might have to call in Dwight Howard and JaVale McGee for some reinforcements. But Darvin didn't make any type of adjustments whatsoever. He just sat there and let us get swept without, saying, doing anything.
Yeah.
And JJ, the same thing. JJ basically did the same thing last year. That shit, when he didn't play nobody off the bench for the whole second half, he trying to kill these players.
Right. Yeah, that's when LeBron got hurt.
Yeah, he
during that stretch. See, that's the thing I say too. People are always say that you hating. It's just like how am I hating? Just saying that Luka, who hasn't won anything, he hasn't won anything, to say that he doesn't play winning basketball. How's that hating? I'm a old head. You know what I'm saying? If I can get in his ear, that's what I would say to him. That and I shouldn't have to. Just watch how LeBron plays the game. Watch how smooth everything goes when you share the ball. When the ball is moving, you're gonna get your shots. But the thing is that all he wants to do is just stand. He don't want to cut. He just a cone out there if he doesn't have that ball in his hands. and he has to do. But that's what kills me when people say that about you hating that shit. I'm not. I know I'm not hating. You know what I mean? But at the same time, it's just like, I'm just trying to say what's the best for the team to play team basketball. I want to win a championship.
Yeah, we got this clown in the chat. He says, "How did Reeves become better since Luka is in LA?" I don't know if I would say Reeves is better at all. I think, Reeves just benefited from LeBron James being out earlier in the season, and he was able to pad his stats a little bit more. But yeah, he's averaging 3 more points this year than he did last year. So I don't know what you're
Yeah.
talking about.
The
Everybody
average
gets worse.
slowly
Yeah,
is
everybody
slowly
gets worse
coming
playing with
down.
Luka.
Right. That average is slowly coming down. He had
28.
that breakout thing. See, and then the other thing too, you see this is the way that the season goes. Most players use the first couple of weeks of the season to kind of get in the groove. He just came out blazing. And then you'll see it again because you might not get a good. Now that OKC is kind of really stamped their way to their way to for basically home court advantage throughout. Now that they're not really gonna be they really don't have nothing to prove.
30,000, 30,000, 40,000, 40,000. How much I'm profiling?
My bad, top 5. I
Yeah,
accidentally pressed the
they
wrong
don't
button.
they really don't have too much to play for. So we might not even get that OKC that game that we're looking for against them because they really don't have nothing to play for. So they might go off. They might be starting to sit players. I wouldn't be giving up no if I was OKC, I wouldn't be giving up no strategy against the Lakers. I would just go ahead, and that's the thing about the beginning of the season and the end and the tail end of the season is that the teams kind of just go ahead and you got teams tanking, and then you got the ones that have already stamped their way to the promised land. They kind of start to sit their players. So we might not even the Lakers might go out and play hard. Not to say the OKC just gonna lay down, but they ain't really playing for nothing now. And then if we beat them, they're gonna be jumping for joy. And that's the problem. That's the problem that I had with a lot of players too. It's just like they go off when you beat trash teams. You would think that you beat the world champ. Lucas scores 60 against Chi-Town, and then everybody going off when Chi-Town. Are they in the playoffs this year? Are they tanking? That's not, it's just sad. Like I say,
No,
beat
they
the teams
tanking.
that you're supposed to. So what would you say, Reg?
Now Chicago's tanking. Miami ain't going nowhere.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like you go off about stuff like that, and it's just like, but you listen to that boy Trevor Lane, and I peeped that too about that thumbnail that he had up with LeBron up there like that, and I said LeBron and who did he have LeBron and Aiden up there
Aiden.
your earlier show, yeah, your earlier show. I said the same thing though, but I can only listen to him. Sometimes I'll listen to him just to get the updates with the who's playing and who's not. But when he started to talk about all that other stuff, man, that shit it's just sickening to listen to. I can't listen to it.
Yeah, that was nasty work. What he did
Right.
last night. Um, but yeah, like I said, I'm interested to see how this playoff run is gonna play itself out because, like I said, we did go on a 9-game streak, so we are capable. So the excuses, I feel like the excuses got to get thrown out the window in terms of oh, this is a gap year and we're just waiting for LeBron to leave and get off the books. No, LeBron is showing he can adjust, he can play whatever role the team needs. So yeah, it's gonna be on Luka and obviously on Reeves to carry this team come postseason time. And I'll be excited for that. I'm hoping we do get out the first round
Yeah.
top fly so I can see this team versus San Antonio. I think that would be a hell of a series to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Wemby versus Luka and them.
Right. You gonna be surprised because I really believe that LBJ he's saving his energy for what I mean for these for them playoffs. I really believe. I think once we get to that playoffs, You gonna say, I mean, but that'll be the worst thing, I guess you probably say too, for him to carry them and they win the championship and then all you hear about is him and Austin Reeves. Yeah, because that's what they're gonna do. They're gonna really try to put that man up there, man. They're using LBJ, but LBJ, like I say, he's a bad boy, man. He is like the real deal. I'm still trying to figure out why people just don't see what we see in him, because it's just like I ain't taking that away from MJ because I love MJ, but if I had a chance to grab me a superstar and I had to choose between MJ and LeBron, this is how I'm gonna look at it. I got one superstar that I've known he's dominated that two position his whole career, but then I can get another superstar who I've seen dominate in all five positions on both ends. I think I might take that one that just dominated all five because LeBron has played all five positions. He's guarded all five positions throughout his career. You know, he can't do it like he used to do it, like when he first hit the midways or in his prime. But when I look at the two and look at what he's still doing now, um, who he passed. He passed the Chief for most games played, and the Chief wasn't playing half as well as LeBron is still playing now. And it's just crazy that he's still playing at this level at his age.
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, like I said, it's gonna be an interesting close to the season going into the playoffs, man. I'm gonna be excited to see what happens, but yeah, that's really all I got on this one, fellas, on this particular show.
Yeah, yeah, I
Yeah,
appreciate you, man.
All right.
I wanted to apologize. I couldn't take Kwame no more. I had to last night because he was in rare form. I don't know what he did. I don't know what he laced his stuff with last night, but he was just in rare form. He's in rare form last night, man. I couldn't do it. I
somebody
said I had to
somebody
go.
came in somebody came in the comments on the video. They like, yo, you got to stop bringing Kwame up here. I'm like, yo, dude, we need the clowns, man.
Right.
We need them. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
he was in red form. And one time he says, I didn't know what he was talking about. I said, this is Bama luncheon right here. You know what I mean? But no, I mean, it's always a good show, man. It's always good to chop it up with you, man. Um, but I'll chop it up with you next time. What was the gentleman's name that was on here with us?
T-shirt King.
Oh, T-shirt King?
Yeah.
What do he sell? T-shirts?
I don't know. I guess.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh,
But yeah.
okay. Yeah, but he made a lot of sense, man. He made a lot of sense. You know what I mean? But you guys, that's why I say when Don C can't, that because I think the man somebody asked him a question today on the show that you just had. They asked him a question, and before he actually answered, he never answered the question. He just it's like what does Luca do? He can't even tell you what he does that really makes him to stand out from everybody. He can't even tell you. He'd rather go to stats and about Luke. I mean, no disrespect to Don C, because I think he's a great dude, but man, but he gotta come on back over to our side. You know what I mean? But that's what they do. So, man, one of the things that I was thinking about, I know you just said you got to go, but it's all we kind of do it to ourselves because we'll let a white artist come in and just take over. When you think about singing and you think about acting and you think about all the entertainment things, you know what I mean? Like I say, I was listening to 50 Cent talking about how Eminem is the greatest rapper. And I'm thinking to myself, like, really? Out of all this talent that we've had along the way, I ain't taking it away from Eminem, even though I really don't listen to anything that he's put out. And not to take nothing away from Eminem, because he's had a few hits that I kind of listen to. But to say that he's the greatest rapper of all time, I'm like, come on. They used to put, even when Whitney Houston was doing her thing, or, what I'm saying, or, what I mean? Because, I'm from the old school, so I've been listening to music a long time to come through from rap to R&B to all that, you know. But like I say, you know, we do it to ourselves, and we just let these players just come in. And like I say, now you put Luka on the Lakers, and now, you know what I'm saying, that, you know, and now that he's behind LeBron, it's almost like LeBron is showcasing him because he's there. And then we jump right on this bandwagon. But I'd just like to know who Don C's favorite player was before he jumped on Luca, because I guarantee you, whoever his favorite player was, Luca can't carry his bag, because you can't say it was LeBron, or you can't say that it was Kobe, or you can't say that it was an MJ, because he's none of them. So I just don't know how you can just go from, you know, those type of superstars to where we are now. But that's my thoughts, man. But have a good evening, man. I'll talk to you again soon.
All right, Top Fly High. Have a good night,
All
man.
right.
Appreciate you, man.
Appreciate you.
All right, bro. Yeah, shout out to Top Fly High and T-Shirt King. We got Don C in the chat. Don C, you know, I found it convenient how you set this show out, dude. You know, once your boy got exposed for being a complete bozo and a fraud, faking, you know, to get out of a suspension. You know, that, I mean, that's nasty work, Don C. That's nasty, dude. But I mean, this is what they do. This is what their kind does, folks. So I'm not surprised by it at all, right? You know, they turn into Karens when the police show up. So it is what it is, man. This dude said Wade was my childhood hero, then Harden, now Luka. Okay. Yeah. You're a James Harden fan. Yeah. That's embarrassing. Okay. From James Harden to Luka. That makes a lot of sense, dude. That makes a lot of sense. You went from James Harden to now Luka. Okay. Chat, that's all I got on this one, man. Puka's a lying fraud. The NBA should rescind his rescinded technical foul and make him serve a 1-game suspension. But we all know they won't, folks. They got to protect him. You know, they got to protect him. It is what it is, folks. This is why I have no respect for Puka. Because without the league's protection, what is he? He's a role player. You know, we got to give him 20 free throws a night. We got to rescind technical fouls for him. All for him just to get his ass beat. He's the NBA's Caitlin Clark. You know? A lot of threes, no championships. You know? No titles. Just a lot of threes, a lot of vibes. That's all you get with Caitlin Clark and Luka. You get vibes, you get threes. And that's really about it. You know, you never win shit. You just get threes and vibes, you know. And white skin, that's it. White skin, threes, and vibes. It's a good time, I guess. I don't know. I'm not a fan. Not a fan, folks. But shout out to St. Matthew. Shout out to Teddy. And shout out to Mike298. Appreciate y'all. Shout out to everybody that tuned in, that's in the chat right now. Folks, that's all I got on this one, man. Puka's disgusting. He's actually disgusting. I'm not a fan, chat. I'm not a fan. I've never been a fan. I will never be a fan of Puka. I'm sorry. I'm a LeBron fan.
LeBron fans.
Of all of the people that we talk about, LeBron fans are the only ones that even message me and contact me on Instagram. One recently sent me a death threat, talking about you can't come to LA. LeBron fans.
Drop the roof and let the smoke clear.
Ticket TV, he calls LeBron James fans jockstrap sniffers.
I got diamonds.
So this is for you
doing
guys. If
slice
you're
and
watching,
both
shout
ends.
out to all the LeBron James jockstrap sniffers. This is for you.
Dice rolling on the Las Vegas.
Please don't tell me that was you saying the 96 sign. This is what you got to realize, Judah. It's very easy to out-debate locker room. It's not very challenging whatsoever. The fact that you let locker room outwit you and out-debate you, it says a lot. We're not talking about a very high-level basketball mind. and you got outwitted by the locker room.
LeBron fans.
I gonna tell you why the beef started with me and Reggie, right? Reggie fucked one of my niggas' bitches, right? The locker room went to fuck one of my niggas' bitches, right? That's why he fucking disrespected the bitch.
Don't give my shit away.
Like they make my soundbite part of the show. I never seen nothing like this where somebody that's a different blogger on a different screen takes your soundbite and DJs your shit. Like he's like a fucking DJ.
Don't give my shit away. I'm just trying to get my paper straight, girl.
LeBron fans.